Hey everyone, hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to another one here on the channel. In today's video, I got one here from you that comes from a question asked by a Patreon member of the RCexplained community. Their question is, if I have the choice between a V1 Limitless and a V2 Limitless, which one should I go for? That's the question that we're going to be answering here in the video. Is the Limitless V1 still relevant? Is the V2 Limitless just that much better and it pretty much puts the V1 out of commission? We're going to go through that. And I'm going to give you the short and sweet answer right here. It does not put the V1 Limitless out of commission. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Limitless is made by Arrma. It came out many years ago, and it was not branded as the V1. When the V2 Limitless came out, the community essentially called the original Limitless the version 1 Limitless. So that's how we have the names coming from a V1 versus the V2. Now, when we're talking about the V2, it is in the title of this model. You will find that in literature, which makes it very easy to go and understand what model you're actually getting. Now, since I've already given you the answer here earlier in the video that the V1 Limitless still plays a role here today, what exactly is that? If you want to share something about the V1 versus the V2 Limitless, leave that in the comment section below. From my perspective, this is my opinion, the V1 Limitless serves as a great basher radio control car, or if you want to run one of these on-road style cars on a road course or track, the V1 Limitless is going to be better suited if you're looking for a model of this particular specification. It is better suited for that type of purpose than the V2 Limitless. Now, really what it comes down to is a few changes that Arrma has done to the Limitless to produce the V2 Limitless. And that really deals with the driveline of the V1 versus the V2 and the arrangement of components from the V1 to the V2. Now, the V2 Limitless is definitely your all-out top speed runner. If that's what you're looking to do, you will want the V2 Limitless. It's going to be a little bit easier for you to manage intense, insane amounts of speeds. And we're really talking about over 140, 150 miles per hour. If you're going for 100 to 140 miles per hour, you're going to be perfectly fine with the V1 Limitless. So it's really for that intense, insane amounts of speed. And what Arrma has done to the driveline is they've changed the differential gear ratio. What this allows is for the Arrma Limitless V2 to spin lower amounts of RPM right at the center spool, where that spool is connected, that main shaft and the drive shafts that go to the front differential and the rear differential, that's going to spin slower in terms of the rotational speed for the same amount of wheel RPM. So what that allows is for lower amounts of vibration. Not only did they do that, but they've also changed the length of the drive shafts. On the V1 Limitless, you had a much longer shaft going from the center differential or the center spool to the rear differential versus the shorter shaft that went from that center spool to the front differential. And that's because the V1 had more of a tendency to cause vibration at really high speeds. Now, I've gone over 130 to 135 miles per hour with this setup, and it definitely can handle it. I did not have any significant vibration issues at this speed, but that does not mean that every model is going to be the same in that way. Now, what this means for the V1 Limitless is that that center spool would spin more RPM for the same amount of wheel RPM. And the advantage here is that you can get better gearing, better motor combinations to make the vehicle actually travel at a slower speed. And believe it or not, this is actually hard to do on the Limitless. It is absolutely geared to go fast, but you don't want to go fast on a road track. You don't want to hit 100 miles per hour for your gearing setup. You're going to be very limited if you end up doing that for a specific road course or basher style vehicle. In my opinion, that is the number one difference between the V1 and the V2 Limitless that sets it apart from absolutely insane speeds to using it more as a basher-friendly road course style vehicle. Now, the second change that the V1 to the V2 Limitless went through is the arrangement of components. If you purchase the V1 Limitless, you're going to be restricted in the motor size that you can use if you still want to use both of the battery bays available on the left and right hand side of the vehicle. vehicle. If you want to get a larger motor, what you can do with the V1 Limitless is rotate that motor mount around, take out one of the battery trays, and this will give you access then to having a larger motor being able to be positioned in the location right mounted onto the motor mount. Most guys have done this when they're running some insane amounts of motor. However, if you're just looking to run at a local track or you're just bashing with friends on the road, what you can do is leave it in that stock configuration, get a motor that fits within the cavity that you have available, and you're going to have yourself a great vehicle and still have access to dual battery trays, which will allow you to separate out your batteries across the full width of the vehicle. In addition to the layout differences, the V1 Limitless, if you're using that original stock platform and configuration, will be limited to the ESC size that you can use. So when you're sizing up your ESC, make sure it can fit in the cavity that's available there. And if you're going for a completely different setup with a massive motor, massive ESC, as well as retaining 2 battery trays so that you can get lots of battery in there, then the V2 Limitless is going to be a cakewalk to get right into that, because just out of the box, it's already set up for exactly what you want to do with it. Well guys, that covers the points that I wanted to drive home here in this video. There are other differences with the V1 versus the V2 Limitless. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can see a more detailed version of this video. This goes into detail when I first got the V2 Limitless. I have both of them in front of me and we go through all of those details. Link will be in the description below. As always, I hope you enjoyed this one. Like the video if you do. Don't forget to hit that sub button so that I can see you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next one.